Next up, we have Tosibox. And just a quick reminder, if you have questions during the demo at any time, submit them to the Q&A button. We'll make sure to get to them at the end. A little bit about Tosibox. They're born from an idea that secure remote access doesn't have to be complicated, expensive, or time-consuming. And luckily, we have Bill here today to walk us through a little bit further. So take it away, Bill. Thanks for being here.
Very good. Thank you, Sam, and welcome everyone. This is fun. 15 minutes. We've got 15 minutes to transform businesses. We can do it. We're going to give you a little state of what's so. We're going to tell you about automation and how technology is evolving. You'll see how you can immediately put this into evolving your businesses. Then we're going to actually create a building automation network in 10 seconds, send it up to your energy monitoring system. That's happening in 15 minutes. Let's go. Here's where we are. 2021. We've gone beyond middleware and internet protocols. We're now at energy analysis, remote control, optimization, over control, cybersecurity. It's all about data and networking at this point. Nobody doubts that anymore. Today, we're going to talk about operational networks versus IT networks. Those networks that manage the stuff you work on, the physical layer, transporting protocols, not for your ERP system and your email system, but literally to get work done. Here's your need: data acquisition for energy monitoring, BAS lighting systems, analytics, energy analysis, reporting, monitoring, commissioning, you name it. By the way, all the vendors that you're seeing over the past few days and everything you guys work with needs security and connectivity. Hard stop. Here's the problem. How do you create these networks? A serious lack of IT knowledge inside your organizations, mostly because IT doesn't work at the OT. It's complicated, expensive, it's got cybersecurity risks, interoperability challenges. We need agnostic infrastructure to do that which you need to do. Simply put in a graph, if you go out to scale your business and connect your world for that which your customers are asking for using traditional IT, whether it's a platform or device IT, you're going to quickly lose control of your cost, complexity, and cybersecurity risk. The solution, simply put, is automation. Tosibox has automated networking. So if you pay attention for this 15 minutes, it's like going back to tech school for a year and a half and becoming a Cisco certified engineer. So pay attention. We've automated networking. We've automated cybersecurity. You get instant network segmentation. And should you want to bring these networks together somewhere in the cloud or anywhere else, we've automated that layer between. Automated meaning you don't know how to have to do it. It happens automatically. We're going to show that off. We've also embedded the cybersecurity. So as you go to connect your metering networks and so forth, it's all under the leading protocol, cybersecurity protocol. You're actually, with Tosibox, building private infrastructure, traversing the public internet, but not engaging any of those public internet things like dynamic DNS server farms or static IP addresses, public IP addresses, any of that stuff. We're also IT friendly, meaning as you go to bring your buildings and systems and energy networks online, very easily blessed by IT. They want your stuff secure. They want it off their business networks. And it's the same type of networks they would build on their own if they had the time. Problem solved. Less focus on IT means you get to focus on that which you're being paid to do. You also win the cybersecurity narrative. You bring risk management down through your firm and your customer's firm. You're protecting the entire value chain. You're driving bottom line costs through automation. Sounds kind of too good to be true. Jerry Reeves, get ready. Our chief engineer is on board. He's going to demo this. He's going to create a single network. It's going to take him all of 10 seconds. He's going to connect to that network. Then he's going to send that network up to a environment where he might have his J2 or his SkySpark or whatever it is he's using up there for energy monitoring, meeting, and so forth. So that's what I want to say, Jerry. We got 15 minutes to transform people's businesses out there. Why don't you take over and do a demo?
Hey, Bill, sounds good. Let's get this knocked out. I'll go ahead and get this transitioned over. So give me a quick second and I will share my screen. We'll be ready to rock. So I'll share my screen. Let's go. All right. And I'm going to pull my video up also because I'm going to be performing a little demonstration here as well. So welcome everyone. This is the demonstration portion of our presentation. And we're going to, as Bill said, create a network. And we're going to do it extremely quickly because Tosibox automation for network creation and security is all built in. So I've got a couple devices here. These happen to be building automation controllers, could be energy meters, industrial controllers, you name it. And what we're going to do first is we're going to network and segment, secure and segment this network right here on my rack. So very simply, I'm going to use a Tosibox lock. This lock out of the box comes with a full-blown firewall. Mount that on a DIN rail very easily. Take my internet connection, plug that right into the WAN port, just like your home router, and then throw in a network connection for the devices. We can support up to full Class A networks behind this lock, 65,000 nodes, no problem, behind this lock. So it could be a single meter, it could be a network of meters, it could be a combination of energy meters, building automation equipment, anything else that is based on IP networking, okay? Now with that lock installed, it's fully secured, segmented, and the number of people that can access that network is 0. But I want to access that network. I want to be able to get the data out of that network. I want it part of my operational infrastructure. To do that, I use a key. This key has a crypto processor chip. It gives me my multi-factor authentication. I use this key to adopt that lock, plug this into this lock. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, I'm creating firewalls, setting up VPN security, initializing access control for that key, all in an automated fashion. Remember, Bill mentioned no IT knowledge required. Guess what? USB key into a slot, easy peasy. I take that key out and I'm done. I've just created the network that I'm going to use to secure my meters and also gain access to that data. All right. Plug my key into my laptop. Up comes my Tosibox software. And now I use my second factor of authentication, my password, to log into my Tosibox software. And it's so secure that if I have to put my password in properly, and now I'm into my Tosibox software. This is not a web page or web portal. This is securely on my PC, okay? Nobody has access to this software but me because it's securely behind my Tosibox credentials. And up comes this Tosibox new headquarters. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick filter here, make it a little bit easier. And that's the network that I just adopted in those 10 quick seconds of automation, all right? I've made a connection, boom. There's my VAV controller, my HVAC controller, could be energy meters, you name it. And now I can perform remote access, make updates, firmware upgrades, engage these connections at the very deepest level, okay, with Tosibox. All right. Now, what I'd like to do here, okay, what I'd like to do here is I'm going to go ahead and connect this unit up to my data center. So let me show you my drawing. I've connected this lock with my computer, but I've got my energy management software up in a cloud location, AWS, Azure, my own data center running VMware, you name it. It could be SkySpark, J2Fin, software of your choice. But the hard part is how do I make this connection without expensive IT gear, okay, without static IPs? With Tosibox, I can very simply, okay, connect to my data center. And I've got one of those locks here called an infrastructure hub. I'm going to make a remote access connection there. I'm now connecting twice, one to my lock here in South Carolina, one to a remote access connection up to my data center in New York. I click on my data center in New York. and you'll see a list of all the other networks that I have up here. With Tosibox, with just a few check boxes, we're going to connect South Carolina and New York. No static IPs, no expensive gear. I can go to devices, connect locks, grab my data center lock, my new headquarters lock, next, layer 3, next, save and finish. And again, just a few seconds, I've now begun to create a new point-to-point connection from South Carolina to New York, and my data from my devices here in my secure building are going up to my secure data center for one holistic operational and application environment. Bill, what did I miss?
I don't know. The only thing is, Sam, has anyone ever done what we just did in 11 minutes? We just nailed that, Reeves. We gave you an overview, folks. We let you know that because of automation and the way building automation technology is transforming, you guys get to go deeper with your customers. You get to do things. You actually get to have these buildings perform in ways your customers never thought they could. Now you don't have to break the bank. You don't have to go out and hire a bunch of Cisco certified engineers. You don't have to buy expensive Cisco gear, and you're bringing cybersecurity down through your brand and to your customers. That's 12 minutes, Reeves. You just transformed businesses in 12 minutes. Sam, that's it.
That was impressive. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Listen, let's jump into some questions here because we have some lined up. But before we do, Tosibox is being generous today, and they're going to give away a remote access starter kit, which they call a network for life in a box. And this prize is valued at $1,000. So if you're interested in this item, you want it to be yours, type in Tosibox rocks in the chat box, and we'll do the drawing after the Q&A. Thank you, everyone.
Cool.
So first question for you, Bill. Have you been working with any government or DoD entities, and wondering if you can provide any examples?
Tosibox is in 150 countries. Here in North America, we work with municipalities at the water, wastewater level, schools, county at the school, schools and so forth, state at traffic automation, municipal buildings, and government. It could be park service cabins coming online, cameras. The DoD is starting to adopt us. We're undergoing our DISA certification now to get to the military. You can buy us on a GSA schedule. It's on the NASA SOUP. What we're seeing in your world, folks, is a lot of money being made available with this new administration for energy monitoring and all that. And we are there and prepared to go in there with you.
Thank you, Bill. And what about, are you compliant with UFC criteria on cybersecurity?
I don't know what UFC is. I will say this, that our products are not only designed and built to meet ISO 27001, so many standards that Jerry would have to probably come back online and tell us what they are. Having said all of that, we work with the largest Fortune 500 companies in the world. Nobody lets us in without doing their own deep cyber testing, and we don't fail. So out of the box, what Jerry just showed you is more secure for a number of different reasons than you would have with a Cisco network. Physical first multi-factor authentication, no public interaction. There is no attack vector from the public internet space. Go to Shodan, type in Tosibox, you'll get a big 0.
Yeah, I'll add on to that, Bill. UFC is in the works along with our DISA. It's all part of our government initiatives to meet all of those cybersecurity standards. As many of y'all know, cybersecurity standards are all over the place. Private sector, public sector, military versus schools versus European standards. So it's a challenge for us as manufacturers to keep up with all of them. But what we do is we try and pick the best ones and the biggest ones. And I can tell you this, as Bill mentioned, because of the fundamental cybersecurity aspects that our technology brings, we check a lot of those boxes just on day one. And then we make small tweaks to get to each standard. So let us know if we need to go deeper on that. You know where to find us.
Thank you, Jerry. One follow-up question to that. Someone asking about another compliance item. Does it comply with NIST guidelines and CMMC audits?
That's you, Jerry.
Yeah, great question. It depends on the CMC, CMMC
It's a
level.
mouthful.
It is. Depends on the level that you're talking about. Okay. But again, NIST and UFC and DISA and others, we're looking at that from a holistic public certifications approach. So we're tackling all those together and trying to find the gap analysis between each one so that we can bring those certifications to you as quickly as possible.
Perfect. Thank you. We have time for one more question. Is Tosibox 1 meter to 1 Tosibox lock, and how does that work?
Jerry?
Say that one more time, Sam.
Is Tosibox 1 meter to 1 Tosibox lock? How does that work?
Great question. No, a Tosibox lock can segment and secure an entire IP network. As I mentioned in the demonstration, we can support up to a full Class A network behind a lock. So yes, you could have one lock and 1 meter, or you could have one lock and tens of thousands of meters behind a lock if you needed to. So just depends on the topology that you're working with. And if we need any deeper details, again, feel free to reach out to us for application help.
Perfect. Thank you both so much.